State Invitational live from Cuesta College here at the Cuesta Aquatic Center in San Luis Obispo. Hi everybody and welcome in. I'm JP Hiroka alongside Gled Martin, here to broadcast the Rabobank Invitational here in Cuesta College. The Cuesta Cougars going to be taking on Santa Barbara City College. Glenn, welcome.
Thank you very much, Jason. Happy to be here. Santa Barbara won the sprint, and Tina Bell in goal for Cuesta got a nice little save there. Cuesta now has their first possession of the game.
Cuesta's going to be looking to take some time here. Enters it about to halfway in the pool. Going to be a foul on SBCC. Cuesta with a good opportunity early. Some good ball movement here. They get it inside to the interior. Another foul as Cuesta's going to be looking to get the ball to another swimmer here.
Billinger's got a free shot, or free pass.
Goes over the shoulder, kind of sloppy here, a little bit of a miscommunication, and SBCC is going to be swimming in transition.
Lainey Acevedo picks up the ball, passes back to JD Maniscalco in goal for Santa Barbara. Controlled
by Cuesta. We're really, blessed to be seeing two really good teams here today.
Yes, we are.
Cuesta starting out the season really good. They're at 9-5 record, and Santa Barbara, a newer program, only starting in 2014, but since coming onto the scene, they've been as dominant as it gets.
They have been, but they also benefit from having a very, very strong high school program in the Santa Barbara city area, so that they can feed the team for these young players that don't go on to a four-year school, can continue playing water polo, and they've been able to do it at a pretty high level here at Santa Barbara City.
Yeah, Santa Barbara City coming off of a 4-game winning streak. It just ended last Saturday over at Fullerton College. 14-2 overall and 3-0 in conference this far this season, and they do get an early goal.
Allison Kay with her first goal of the game. She breaks the double goose egg.
It's going to be 1-0 in favor of Santa Barbara. So talk to me, how does that compare to a place like Cuesta? Because I know Cal Poly doesn't have a water polo team. It has a club team.
They do have a club team. It does make it tough. The biggest thing you really end up working on is more of a tradition. Once you get a tradition of success, that success is going to be able to feed off itself and continue to do that.
Right.
But there is a challenge for Pete to bring in young ladies who are looking to continue to play. Very few of these probably end up playing beyond the Cuesta, their 2 years here at Cuesta, their 2 years of eligibility.
Of course, talking about head coach Pete Schuler, who's in his 21st season with Cuesta College.
Katie Prem, number 14, just missed off the left-hand side of that goal post. It hit the end line, obviously off the goalie, so Cuesta retains possession. They've got a 2-meter free throw coming back in.
It's going to be another foul, and looks like an exclusion
exclusion
here
on Allison Kay.
Cuesta with a really good opportunity, so that's going to be 20 seconds where this swimmer is not going to be in play. Cuesta with a 6-on-5.
If you watch these passes, they call them dry passes. They can pass from back and forth. They keep it out of the water, dry the ball up, makes it easier to throw.
Right.
When they lose that, they lose time, and they lose kind of control and possession.
And I feel like you're potentially pulling the defense onto you and creating more space and opportunity for
Correct.
Another swimmer.
Correct.
Especially down a man or a woman in this case.
Right.
Each pass is going to break down the defense a little more and create
we're coming
space.
Along here.
So there's the end of the exclusion. Swimmer coming back in. Cuesta had to get a shot off. Hits off the left post. It's going to be still 1-0 in favor of SBCC. SBCC swimming up the front right of the pool here.
Nice
Taken
steal.
away by Cuesta. That's a beautiful steal. Keeper going to let her swimmers swim up the pool a little bit and toss in front. Good opportunity here.
Leads for Emmett. Emmett's driving. See if she has an opportunity to pass. Nice defense.
A foul there.
An ordinary whistle.
Cuesta looking maybe to get some more of these passes along in the exterior. Just trying to break down the defense a little bit.
Good example of an overpass and defensive player able to reach kind of over and around her head without getting called for a foul and get possession of the ball.
Right.
You can see here Santa Barbara's a little bit faster getting the ball down into the front end of the pool.
Santa Barbara with a couple passes here from the front right back to center. Back to the front right. Going to move their players around a little bit. Only 7 seconds left on the shot clock. They've got to do something here.
Yep.
Cuesta with some really good defense. The foul is going to be called. Wow, what a shot.
Blue Ricketts with a goal for Santa Barbara.
Sort of just hooked that one a little bit over the goalie.
That works not in the majority of times, or there's certainly times rather than just pounding the ball in, you just kind of float it up in that upper corner. It's very, very difficult for the goalie to stay out of the water for that extra little time duration and block that ball.
Yeah, that's a timing positioning thing that if you're not there.
It's like a changeup in baseball, you know, you got a 65-mile-an-hour pitch rather than a 90-mile-an-hour pitch. It just looks real different coming at you.
Yep. Foul called on SBCC. Going to give a little bit of space here to Cuesta. Looks like another exclusion is going to be called here. Number 5.
Yeah, Lainey Acevedo for Santa Barbara is called for her first exclusion. Players are given 3 exclusions during the game before they are forced to be out for the remainder of the game.
And with 2 already here early in the period, Santa Barbara clearly isn't afraid to give those away. Leading 2-0, obviously. Something's working for them.
Yeah, and they've got enough players to do that.
Yeah, a deep roster indeed.
Right.
A good shot from Cuesta, just hits it off the left iron.
Yeah, Tori Blanchard with a nice attempt. You hit that pole, that'll work, but you've got to get inside it. Just another 2 or 3 inches, that would have scored.
Some shots on target though, that's going to lead to goals. Cuesta swimming, playing some aggressive defense here, trying to limit the space that the ball handler has. Makes a great pass into the inside. Goalie comes out and blocks it though. Good read from the goalie to come out and stuff.
Nice work from Bell to come out of the goal. The closer she gets to that offensive player, she really cuts off the angles.
Yep.
It's a risk because then they can float it right over her head into the goal.
It makes her bigger in front of her, less space to go around.
Absolutely. She gets real intimidating, and she can actually do that.
Absolutely. And limits the amount of time that she has to make that shot.
Absolutely. Here's a nice ordinary foul call. Cuesta over on the right side.
Cuesta looks a little too indecisive here. Needs to find what they want to be doing instead of just pushing the ball into these areas and watching.
That's the speed of this game. One of the things we've been trying to do from the rules book is try to pick up the speed, and you can see where Santa Barbara is kind of out hustling.
Absolutely. Similar to what we saw in the last game when the Riverside Tigers took on Delta.
Yeah.
Just a little bit faster swimmers, getting more to those 50-50 balls.
And that last takeaway was a good example of that, where they're both hustling for the ball.
Absolutely.
Another nice block by Bell. She's already got 3 or 4 saves.
Yep. Needs her team to pick up a little bit on the offensive end so they can get back into this, down 2-0 with about 2 minutes left here in the first period. Going to enter it about halfway up the pool. Cuesta looking to get the ball moving. It's number 11, Maddie Hermish.
Yeah, but there's only 10 seconds left in their 35-second clock.
And there's another sloppy pass now, it looks like.
Big steal.
Santa Barbara's going to go back to the keeper, actually. Looks like they like to facilitate it out of the back, too.
Keeper has a good view of the entire pool, much like a catcher in baseball.
Right.
So she can see who's actually breaking and then a good point to get that transition.
Right.
That transition throw.
Little backhanded shot there from number 9 of Cuesta, Annie Ackert, but blocked again by Bell, who has 4 or 5 good
Bell's
saves.
playing a really good game. She won't score a single goal for Cuesta, but if she can keep Santa Barbara from scoring very many, she'll keep her team in this game.
Right. The other thing I'm looking for her to do to keep her team in the game is, lead to some goals and some assists from that back end, as we were just talking about. The goalie often has the best point of view of.
But there's Blanchard holding the ball. She's got to get that ball passed. They're back to mid-pool again.
Only 10 seconds left on the clock.
Back to Blanchard. She's going to have to shoot.
And blocked from the
J.D. Maniscalco for Santa Barbara with that block.
So I noticed goalie for Santa Barbara, J.D., she got an A on her cap. So does that mean that there's 2 different goalies?
Typically, that's what it is. It makes it kind of interesting on the roster for Santa Barbara. You've got 1 and 1A. And they used to use it where 13 was the backup goalie.
Oh, okay.
Now 13 is a regular field player, and 1A is the designated.
13, Blue Ricketts with the ball just a second ago, passes it back out to the middle.
Ball over the top bar. Ball comes back in. Cuesta's roster makes it a little more confusing because they got 3 players all listed as number 1. keeping stats can be a creative way. Who's actually in goal?
I'm glad that's not my job.
Yeah, we confirmed that Tina Bell has started the game.
Great.
She's in the goal for Cuesta. Here at the end of the first period, Santa Barbara enjoys a 2-zip lead.
Good start to this game here. A little bit sloppy from Cuesta.
They're just slower. I mean, it is a little bit sloppy, but they're just not quite as fast as Santa Barbara. Obviously, there's a reason they're ranked where they are in the state. But you can see the real difference on.
Absolutely. We got a timeout here. It's going to be 1 minute and 38 seconds in between the periods. Do you think we'll be seeing some substitutions in this next period here?
Oh, I'm sure we will. You know, because they've got kind of an open substitution where they typically between goals or timeouts and stuff is when they will substitute.
Right.
But Santa Barbara's got a good-sized roster, and there's no doubt that they'll be bringing their substitutes in, give as many players an opportunity to play as they possibly can.
Especially with the speed that they were swimming at, they're going to need some fresh lungs in there, and Cuesta's going to be wanting to keep up with that.
Exactly.
But do you think someone like Tina Bell, the goalkeeper, who has 4 or 5 good saves, she'll probably be staying in the game? You think?
She will stay in the game, and my guess she'll stay in the game unless there's a real problem.
Right.
Because if she's doing a really good job, she's the defensive stalwart on in the game for Cuesta. She's keeping that. This score could easily have been 4 or 5 to zip.
Without her.
Without her there in goal. So
absolutely.
Yeah, they're not going to pull her out. She's also the sophomore. The other 2 goalies on the team, Kia and Michelle, are both freshmen. They'll get their chances on probably less critical games, and they both got another year to play.
Meanwhile, Tina mentors them a little bit, I'm sure.
There's no doubt in my mind that's exactly what's going on.
Always good to see that camaraderie and learning and growing together as a team.
And that's what's really important when you look, at this Cuesta team. They've got 5 sophomores and 7 freshmen. That's a pretty good balance between freshmen and sophomore on the team. Shows some stability. In comparison, Santa Barbara only has 3 sophomores. Part of that may be indicative of the age of their program, but it's also they may have also had a number of players that were recruited to go on and play for a year as transfer students. So they've got a strong group.
Absolutely, but that makes it almost the more impressive for Santa Barbara in that they have, it looks like, 8 or 9 freshmen, and to be this good this early.
Absolutely.
With less experience, but it seems maybe the faster swimmers and the more technical players.
The other thing you can actually look at as well is they're coming in San Diego, San Ynez, Honolulu, Oakland, Park City. There's an number of players playing for Santa Barbara that are not actually Santa Barbara high school players.
Absolutely. And we compare that over to the Cuesta side. We're looking at San Luis Obispo, Napomo,
Atascadero,
Hanford,
Arroyo Grande.
Arroyo Grande.
The majority of the kids on this Cuesta team are from San Luis Obispo County. Here we are in the sprint for the second period. Santa Barbara wins this sprint again.
Looks like we have number 6, Jillian Gibson, was one of the substitutes that came in for Cuesta. Lots of new faces, actually.
See their offensive setup. You can see how much deeper Santa Barbara is now. They've got the 1 player in the front. Kind of an awkward pass. Jillian Gibson for Cuesta is able to get that steal, passes it back to Tina. Cuesta's on offense.
Tina surveying, looking for her opportunity to get the ball up the pool. Enters it into number 9, Collier Billinger. Kind of a wayward pass here. Got a little struggle, scramble for the ball, and Santa Barbara's going to come away with it and be looking to push in transition.
Hannah Wigzell, Santa Barbara with the steal. Looking to lead.
Pass in front.
Leads her teammate.
Enters it into the front left corner of the pool. Jockeying
the
for
wing.
Positioning.
You can see the players in the 2-meter jockeying. Try to keep from drowning each other and get an opportunity. Passes over the top bar of the goal. Tina gets the ball. Cuesta gets 35 seconds to see if they can score.
They did find success in that little floating high shot into that far corner before, but Tina Bell at 6 foot, she's a tall goalkeeper, and
she's a tall goalkeeper.
I think she'll be well suited to defend things like that.
Absolutely. Here's an aggressive defense being played by Santa Barbara. This is a good example. As long as Cuesta keeps possession of the ball, keeps the ball in her hand, they will not call a foul. As much contact as is appearing at that point in time. With Cuesta running out of time, they throw the ball into the corner.
It's down to 4 seconds on the shot clock before they threw that ball away.
and that's not unusual to throw it into the corner, makes the goalie
Right.
take the time to go out and pick up the ball, gives the defense a time to come and set up a defense against a faster team.
Right. Don't want to be giving that ball away in transition too easily.
Correct.
Switches the pool here into number 8 for Santa Barbara. That's Waverly Golden. She's going to push it a little bit, enter it back into the middle. Long range attempt there, but suffocated.
Lou Ricketts with about a 7-meter shot. Tina gets another save.
Yep.
That's about her 6th or 7th, I think, for the game today. She's doing a great job.
Number 10, Tori Blanchard, controlling the ball. Fouled there by Waverly for Santa Barbara. Cuesta down to 15 seconds. They waste a lot of time before they get anything into the inside, but that's a great pass.
Inside.
They will be able to get a shot here. Blocked in by...
Maniscalco makes a nice block for Santa Barbara.
Maniscalco
on the transition,
of the goalkeepers.
Yeah, Jillian Gibson from Cuesta just got excluded. Now what she has to do, because no goal was scored, is Cuesta's possession again, but she has to make her way all the way into the penalty area in the red zone past that end line before her substitution can come in. Number 3, Ellie Kloberdance is coming in. They're at full.
Interesting position here because they gave the ball away, but Cuesta has that substitute swimming in from that side.
Right.
So they have an extra defender coming back into the play late. How does SBCC deal with that?
Well,
Cuesta going to foul them.
It's a good defensive foul to slow that ball down.
Absolutely. Cuesta getting into a little bit better positioning defensively. Another long-range effort stopped there by Tina Bell.
Again, it's taking Cuesta a little bit too much time to get set up.
Absolutely.
Tina's holding the ball. We only got 18, half of that.
And they're only at halfway into the pool here.
Yep, only halfway through their shot clock, and they're just bare the midpoint. Obviously a contra foul where someone on the offensive team was holding too aggressively onto the Santa Barbara player, and the officials called a turnover.
Santa Barbara running in swimming in transition here. Gonna look for a shot, blocked by Tina, off the upright.
Actually, if she had touched it, the Santa Barbara would have been able to retain that ball.
Oh, okay.
So her hands went up, but she didn't touch the ball. So it's actually off the top bar rather than off of I think for her stats, it still shows as a save, which she certainly won't argue with. But
I'm sure she won't.
If a defender touches the ball and it goes over the end line.
So where is Santa Barbara going to get that ball then if she's the one who blocks it out?
They get it at the 2 meter between the red and the yellow zone over on the side of the pool. It's called a 2 meter or corner. It's called a corner shot. They get a new 30-second shot clock, 35-second here in college.
Another long-range effort. Santa Barbara in the second period with these reserves really has seemed to go to that long-range shot. Hasn't gotten one to fall yet, but certainly testing Tina as well as these posts.
Yep.
Again, we're down to under 20 seconds, and Tina Bell still with the ball all the way on their side of the pool.
Aggressive defense. Cuesta retains the ball, throws it into the 2 meter. Out to the wing.
That's a great possession there from Cuesta.
Ellie Kloberdance with the first goal for Cuesta.
They entered into that 2 meter position, and as Santa Barbara came in and sort of suffocated into that, trying to block that 2 meters, easy pass back out, and they get that little corner long shot to go.
Right. What happens when that 2 meter person is expected to be the big shooter? They will collapse and try to double team or triple team that person in the 2 meter. Opens up that wing player.
That's exactly what we saw here.
Exactly what we saw.
1-2 for 1-2 from Cuesta, down only 1 goal with 3 minutes left in the period. They're very much alive in this game. We're seeing some good water polo from 2 elite teams in this conference.
Chucky Roth from Santa Barbara trying to coach his team there, trying to remind them how to keep that from happening. Shows how important swimming is in transition, swimming to and from double teaming and triple teaming players. You're always in motion. Official calls the contra foul. One of the Santa Barbara players was impeding the Questa player from going and getting the ball. The ball's open and free. He just calls a turnover, gives it over to Questa. Questa has a chance here to get down in the front end of the pool with plenty of time to try to score.
Yeah, Tina entered that one into
Tori Blanchard.
quicker.
Tori Blanchard has the ball now.
Here's a giveaway. Santa Barbara going to be back on the ball.
Yeah, that's also pretty tough because number 8 on the Santa Barbara team was holding her in some way, but not enough of a hold where the official's going to call the foul. So she gets away a little bit with the defensive success there.
It's number 8, Waverly Golden, going to enter into number 2, Taylor Brooks, who
And
puts it in the back of the net. Nice little turning shot into the front right of the goal. That's going to be 3-1 in favor of Santa Barbara.
2 minutes left in the second period.
So just as we see Questa sort of get a goal and pull it back within 1, Santa Barbara comes back to assert their dominance, put it back up by 2.
Yeah, they're not going to hang around and just watch that game get away from them. They're too strong a team.
Absolutely. With 2 minutes left here, I'd love to see Questa get another goal so we can keep it within 1, keep it interesting as we move into our third period after this one. Santa Barbara obviously going to be looking to try to score another one in the next 90 or so seconds. Entered into the front right corner.
Seeing Hermich sits off and then they pass across off the
Tried
sidebar.
Tried to set up Madison Wayman there. A good opportunity and a good shot just off the upright. Back into Tina Bell's arms. She's going to give a long pass into the front left corner of the pool. On that far side there. Little touch pass inside. It's going to be another foul. Questa's going to retain possession here.
Yep, still Questa's ball. She's got a free pass.
They're going to go back out. They still have 14 seconds here, so they have a little bit of time to look for the shot they want, but they just get overwhelmed. That was Tori Blanchard just getting overwhelmed by the 2 Santa Barbara defenders. She was double teamed.
You also see a lot of the contact and physicality down there that the officials tolerate because they want to keep the game flow going.
Here's a nice steal from Santa Barbara. Tori Blanchard going to be getting that steal there. Going to go back to Tina Bell as her team looks to run in transition. She's going to go over the top now. Oh, look.
Evie Cooper with a chance at the ball.
Got to keep your head up there.
She's being defended by Riley of Santa Barbara. She turns her's coming in. Who's got the shot? Emily does.
Tough angle there. She gets her rebound, tries to go over the top.
Over and out of bounds. Shady Maniscalco of Santa Barbara gets the ball thrown into her from the bench. And they're already back in the front half of the pool.
Seems like Santa Barbara gets
5 seconds left here in the quarter.
Yeah, especially with a couple seconds here, just trying to get one last shot. Just going to pad Tina Bell's stats a little more, get an extra little save for her as we enter halftime here. 3-1 the score as we enter into halftime. 2 periods gone, 2 left.
At this point, at halftime, the teams will switch ends, so they both kind of get the sunny side or the shady side if there is such a thing in the middle of the day. But it evens out the use of the pool, and then there's a 5-minute break. Give the teams a little extra time for some water and some interim coaching.
Yeah, we'll see if Tina Bell can continue to have her strong defensive performance now defending a different net. She's going to need to keep it going for herself defensively as the Cougars are losing 3-1 here.
I'm a little bit surprised that the score is so low. I think part of it's low is just because Tina's doing a great job defensively in the goal. And then Questa just hasn't been able to get their offense untracked. But they're being outswum by the Santa Barbara team.
Yeah, it just seems like it takes a little bit too long for them to get into their offense, and then they're pressured by not only the 6 defenders, but also that 7th player in the clock. That's another thing that puts them up against a corner.
It does, and in today's game, they're using half of that clock without even getting the ball in the front half of the pool. So that's impacting their ability to have adequate time to be passing the ball around in the front side of the pool to get that open players a chance to shoot.
They're being forced into taking shots that they otherwise, I think, wouldn't be wanting to.
Correct.
So I'm sure that's what head coach Pete Schuler is talking about over there. Cuesta's going to be on the working left to right in this second period, or third period, shall I
Third
say,
period.
second half. Again, Pete Schuler with 6 straight winning seasons and 396 wins in his career. Last year they went 23-11 with a 4-2 record in conference play. So looking to do something similar here at 9-5. A strong start to the season for Cuesta College.
Yep. He was an All-American at Pepperdine and as a goalie, so he knows the game. He's been around the game. You can see he's a big barn door of a man anyway, and so natural for him to set up in the goal.
I'm sure that's part of the success we're seeing from Tina Bell today, her head coach.
I don't doubt that for a minute. You got a nice
All-American goalie.
You got a nice big 6-footer, big tall young lady there in the goal.
Some of those skills are transferring.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. So last year, Cuesta was eliminated in the first round of the postseason, looking to try to do a little bit better this year. Obviously, only halfway through the season here at 9-5. We have a little bit of time, but they'll be wanting to play their best polo in those closing months of the season rather than at that early part.
But this is exactly why a tournament like this, where they're going to get 3 games in 3 or 4 games, probably 4 games within the 2 days, it's a great opportunity for the ladies to toughen up their conditioning, but also just practice and really get to know each other as players and teammates. So when the games come that are truly counting, they're working stronger as a team. So these are tournaments like this. It's always a lot more fun to win than to lose. It's always a lot more fun to play against strong opponents like Santa Barbara. But the real goal is to learn more about your team and build the strengths on the team.
Absolutely. And that's something that we're going to see more from Santa Barbara, obviously, as with those 8 or 9 freshmen that we were talking about. This is great for them, getting those multiple games in a couple of days, opportunities in the pool, more minutes. That's what these women need to improve.
Absolutely,
and to be better for next year.
Yeah, I expect that in the second half, most of the substitutes will probably be seeing as much, if not more, time in the pool as the starters. You're going depending on the score.
And we'll see how Cuesta then answers that, because that'll give them potentially an opportunity. Only 3-1 here with a whole half to be played, 2 periods. Cuesta's still very much alive in this game.
Very much. They could turn around and get a goal here early, be down by 1, and it does change the complexion of the game and the speed of the game.
Absolutely. Cuesta, obviously, with the more experienced and older team, probably going to be going back to their starters and their go-tos. We see Tina Bell in the pool, as well as Maddie Hermish. Seeing Tori Blanchard going to be staying in here. Number 6, Jillian Gibson as well.
Looks like Tori's going to be sprinting again for Cuesta.
Meanwhile, Santa Barbara re-entering the pool on this right side. They're going to be working right to left. In this beautiful Friday morning, Central Coast, California.
You think it's a spring day, but it's a beautiful fall day here.
No. Just coming up on noon here as we get to the PM hours of our Friday. So this will continue into Saturday afternoon. Is that correct there, Glenn?
Yes. Yeah, they've got a full complement of games tomorrow, all day tomorrow here.
Very nice.
Annie
Ball
Eckert
in the water.
sprinting for Santa Barbara.
Santa Barbara's going to win that sprint.
Annie wins that sprint.
Very close one there.
Very tight sprint on to open up this third period.
This is 13 blue rickets for Santa Barbara. She's got that big arm. Been taking a lot of those shots from the outside. She enters it into the middle. There's going to be a foul and a great, easy goal from Santa Barbara. A little bit of miscommunication from Cuesta.
Madison Wayman with a goal for Santa Barbara.
That only took, what, a minute?
No, it took 22 seconds.
22 seconds, wow. So not the way we wanted to see Cuesta get this third period started, but still plenty of time to get back into this down 1-4. Enters it up to Maddie Hermish. Being hounded by the defensive player.
A late whistle by the official. Cuesta retains possession. Little toss by Blanchard over the top of the goal.
Up and over.
Little 2-on-1 takeaway.
Tori giving a chance here for swimmers to get up the pool here. Gonna enter it into number 16. That's Sadie Emmett. Gets fouled there. Gonna give her a little space, a little time. Working from the front right corner of the pool here. That's
Hermish with
Maddie Hermish.
With the ball. She's got plenty of time. Blocked by the defense, hits the end line, ball turns over. Maniscalco from Santa Barbara gets the ball right back down. They're already within close to the 5-meter point. Santa Barbara's just a stroke or two faster getting that ball down the pool.
Absolutely. They had 2 players on that right side, so throwing it on that right side was fairly easy.
Evie Cooper, number 18, called on the exclusion for Cuesta.
I think we'll be seeing an outside shot here. Santa Barbara likes those. With a lot of space from this exterior.
They've got plenty of time. So they're just going to take their time. You can see these.
Look for their best shot.
Yep, and these dry passes. These girls know how to play the game, know how to get out of the pool. Annie Ackert with her first goal. Well, everybody's scoring for Santa Barbara. You got 5 goals and 5 different players that have scored for Santa Barbara here today.
And so those dry passes, what that's going to do is going to let that ball get the water off, and they're going to be able to throw the ball.
Easier to grip. The ball has a natural grip to it. Obviously, they can grip it when it's wet. And when it's dry, it's a little easier to grip. So
able to put a little more control and a little more pace on the ball when it's
absolutely
drying out of the pool. Also just burning some time for them. I mean, up 5-1, there's no need to rush it or
well, and you can get multiple passes. If you're not spending your time chasing the ball and getting it out of the water, you can get 5 or 6 different passes on it.
Right.
And to Taylor Brooks, called for the exclusion for Santa Barbara. She comes out for the 20 seconds.
Here's number 9, Carly Billinger, off to 14, Katie Plum.
They've got the 6-5 advantage. You can see they got 4 set up in the front line, and she scores. Blanchard with the score.
So that's 2 goals from 2 different exclusions from Cuesta College. So could be a little story there.
And that's what you expect. The team with the advantage, offensive team with the advantage, they should be scoring about 70% of the time. You know, about 70% of the time off of that advantage play, but not all the time. That good work by the goalie. Sometimes it's just good defense where they just don't get that clean shot. But
absolutely.
Santa Barbara having a little bit of trouble. Ordinary foul called against Katie Prem. Santa Barbara crosses the pool.
Enters it into that 2-meter zone.
There's the official called it. He's calling a penalty foul. The offensive player right there, Annie Ackert, was right in front of the goal, and she was being blocked and by Jillian Gibson. So she's called on a penalty shot foul. Penalty shot, she doesn't actually leave the field to play, but player has an opportunity on a straight penalty shot, try to shoot, and she does exactly that.
And Glenn, what do you think the percentage on those penalty shots are? How often are we going to be putting those in?
Oh, it's been a while since I really looked at it, but it's probably closer to 90%. They don't do it all the time. Every now and then that goalie will get it, but it's kind of like soccer. You know, They miss every now and then, but you've got to
sort of guess if you're a goalie. There's not enough time where
there's not enough time to really go one way or the other. Tina has, obviously about a 6-foot range on her arm stretched out, and that goal's about 3 meters wide, so a little over 9 feet. You've got to make a judgment at some point what's going to happen.
She made a good attempt there, but nothing to be done about that one.
Right. There, Blanchard on the offensive, she pushed off against her defender.
And Escalco lobs it in to number 10 there for Santa Barbara. Their entrances from the goalies seems to be a strong suit from Santa Barbara. No hesitation ever.
Barbara player called for impeding the defensive player from being able to set up. So it's a turnover there. Transition. Cuesta gets the ball back.
Tina Bell holding on to it here. 21 seconds left.
Here again, takes 15 seconds to get the ball in the front half of the pool. They need to speed up their play all in all if they're going to stay in this game.
Absolutely. There's a good turn and shoot there from number 10,
Yeah, but
Tori
she
Blanchard.
got called on a push-off against the defender. She got up and out of the water, but she's not allowed to use her full arm length in order to separate herself from that defender. She got called on that. No goal. Santa Barbara ball. They're coming back down.
A good attempt and a good shot, just
and that's
a little overzealous.
Right, and that's a good example where, most of the fouls are called against the defense, but the offensive player has to allow the defender to have some defense. And if you're using that big straight arm push off, you're going to get called on that.
Another good save there from Tori Bell. Tina Bell, sorry.
Tina Bell.
And let's see how long it takes here to get the ball up. Already down to 25 seconds.
Yeah,
ball
it's a
still in
35-second shot. So they're down to 21 seconds to get a ball in the front half.
Something to keep an eye on here. That's going to be number 6, Jillian Gibson looking. Tries to go for a little chip shot over. Doesn't connect, though. That could be something to employ there against the smaller Maniscalco. Only 5'5" for
Maniscalco in 5 seconds gets the ball into the front half of the pool. There's the big difference, I think, in the flow of this game.
Absolutely.
You can see how much the clock just keeps going.
Santa Barbara just moves and plays at a much faster pace.
Is a faster pace.
Swimmers, gets the ball up faster, more passes.
Santa Barbara calls their first timeout.
How many of those are we going to be getting in this game?
In the tournament, I'm not sure. Lots of times tournament play will switch it out. They're given 4 timeouts during a regular game. It's interesting. Many coaches, unless it gets really, really tight at the very end, will not use their timeouts because it does disrupt the flow. In this game, the flow of the game is really an important aspect of keeping control of what's really going on. But Coach Chucky Roth obviously saw something. He wanted to stop his players. They've got a comfortable four-goal lead right now, so he's just trying to, giving them some nice coaching tips. I think he's going to want to encourage them to practice their plays, get a lot of touches before they actually start trying to shoot. The more touches, it takes up the shot or the game clock as well. It keeps the ball out of the hands of the opposing team.
Absolutely. And head coach there, Chucky Roth, in his 6th season. He's been the head coach every single season that Santa Barbara has been around in the water polo game, starting in 2014. So a pretty recent program. But last year, SBCC going 30-5 in 2018 with a perfect 8-0 conference record. So a strong program nonetheless.
And that's great to see. That it gets dominated. There's some teams out of Orange County, including Long Beach City, which is obviously not in Orange County, but Long Beach City currently has a very strong team, and you get some teams out of the Bay Area. But it's nice to see the Central Coast, making a real push. Cuesta has a strong team and a strong program. They'll continue to do that. But it's good to see a Santa Barbara team come out from their young roots, I guess, in 4 or 5 years and really take a dominating.
I think it says a lot about water polo as a sport too. That a new program like that can do so well so quickly. That there's a popularity there.
Yeah,
they wouldn't be adding that as a sport to a rather large community college if there wasn't a demand or a popularity.
Absolutely, part of that Title IX certainly is encouraging women athletes to participate, and women's athletics in general, it continues to grow. It does become challenging because of all the advantage in numbers that the men's sports have had over the years. But
right.
Women's water polo has been around for a long time, but it is great to see. For me, I think it's an awesome sport to watch, and just to see these young athletes coming in there. And these girls are in good shape, and these are true college-level athletes.
Absolutely. Makes it always nice on a day like today when we get to be outside too.
Yeah, that's not too bad either. Here's Santa Barbara controlling the ball.
That's Allison Kay. Goes over the top. Tina Bell gonna get the ball here. Let's see how long it takes.
She got a little smile on her face, so she got away. She probably actually touched that ball as it went over the goal.
Yeah, I saw that one.
And the Santa Barbara team doesn't get a corner shot. Officials didn't see that touch. They're bringing it down. Jillian Gibson's with the ball. She's coming in.
There's Hermish jockeying, but
Double teamed. Is not able to keep control of the ball. Loses control on the double team. Santa Barbara coming right back down again.
Santa Barbara not allowing a lot of space for Cuesta to work with here in this game this morning. Seems like everything gets closed down pretty quickly. Not a lot of time, not a lot of space in front of these Cuesta swimmers.
Yep.
Little touch pass into the inside.
And a nice save by Tina.
Showing off that large wingspan, moving over to her left side. She's going to wait here, let her players get up the field.
It's important for players keep moving around, though. They've got to get free of those defenders.
Santa Barbara's yet to be shaken loose, it seems like today. Only 2 goals coming, and both of those were on exclusions for Cuesta. There's a good pass. That looks like a foul there.
It was an ordinary foul call, so there's no advantage for Cuesta.
There's going to be Tori Blanchard.
Pass. She should be thrown down. Carly Billinger almost got in the bottom right corner there. Nice save by Manikowsko. Immediately gets the ball right back down to about 5 meters. Into the 2-meter player.
That's Allison Kay hooking up with Madison Wayman there. Wayman's fouled. She's going to go back out to Kay. Then they're going to switch the pool over there. Create a little bit of space into that 2-meter zone.
She's got the inside position on that, so she's got more of a free shot. Tina Bell with another
shot
save.
There, lacking some power, but shot on target nonetheless. Tina Bell swallows that one up though. Into at least double-digit saves, I would say, for Tina Bell.
Easy.
A good game for her, and
she's had a very good game.
Her friends and family, I'm sure, going to be thrilled for her.
Big strokes by Emily Riley for Santa Barbara, was able to get that ball back. There's a rare bad pass.
And with 25 seconds left in the third period here, looks like we got a timeout.
Coach Schuler calls a timeout. He's going to take full advantage. One of the other advantages that comes off the timeout is that the offensive is allowed to set up on the offensive end of the pool, so you save yourself 10 seconds from coming from the backside of the pool to the front.
And they're going to lose those timeouts here anyway in the next period at the end of it. So
correct.
Might as well use it here. He's still got another one, I believe. Or 2 at least. And
yeah, sometimes the tournaments they'll shorten them up just in order to keep that game flow, moving.
So many games and so many.
And we have so many games, so they shorten up the number of timeouts that they allocate to the teams. I don't know.
Schuler trying to take full advantage though. The last 24 seconds here, most likely going to be holding on to the ball for that final shot.
Yeah, I'm sure he's got to play. They're going to set up in the perimeter and they're going to hold the ball. They're going to break away. Have a couple girls try to break into that 2-meter area, and then
obviously,
see who
Glenn,
gets
this is something that these girls work on. Is a 24-second or 25-second play out of bounds from the timeout, similar to maybe an out of bounds play in basketball or sort of a set piece in soccer or any of these other things that that these are going to be coming a couple times a game, and you want to be able to take full advantage of that.
Yeah, absolutely. You'll see the goalie will be pretty much at mid-pool. Tina will set up at mid-pool or close to mid-pool. She's allowed to come up to that mid-pool point in order to make that inbounds pass. And that offense, we'll have to see how they want to set up. Quite often an offense in this kind of situation will set up with no one in that offensive 2-meter position. So where it's wide open in that 2-meter, give space and opportunity, and it
clear line of sight
keeps the defense from really knowing who's going to be there in that 2-meter.
Right.
They're ending up setting up in a much more traditional way with Carly Billinger right there at the 2-meter. And so they've got kind of a 3-and-3 on a standard, but watch for Carly to swim away from that goal in order to get someone else a chance.
Look for some intricate plays here, as this is more of a drawn-up play. They know what they're looking for here.
See, Carly comes right out. Here's 11 comes in.
Here's Madison. Back out to number 16. That's Sadie Emmett.
See on the ordinary foul.
Down to 9 seconds left in the game, or in the period.
Look how open she is there, and just off. Evie Cooper misses
good
off
attempt there.
You can see where they had a number of touches and an opportunity to go and make that shot in the goal. Third period ends. The Santa Barbara Vaqueros enjoying a 6-2 lead. So we got 2 minutes before the last period starts. So they're going to have 8 minutes of water polo left in this game. I'm a little bit surprised that the score is as low as it is. I was expecting both these teams to come out and be a little bit more offensive, given their history.
Quest has really struggled to get anything going on the offensive side. It's mostly just been Tori Blanchard, just their big dominant offensive player up front, looking for isolation and just spinning shots herself. There's not a lot of passing going on. It's really just coming from taking too long to get it into anything, it seems like.
And I think that if you looked at time of possession, it wouldn't surprise me that Santa Barbara
is dominating
probably has 60% of the clock time.
And of that possession that Cuesta has, I feel like Tina Bell probably has at least half of it just holding it.
She's having a much tougher time getting her teammates free on the front half of that pool to accept that ball and really get the ball into play.
And as we keep harping on it, it's not Tina's fault as a solitary goalie. She needs players to be open to separate or to move away so that she can get it up to them.
You're absolutely right. And like many of these team sports where you have a goalie, whether it's in hockey or in soccer, it's a completely different game for them because there's not a lot of physical contact. There's not a lot of speed, but they're expected to be able to sprint when they need to sprint and be able to really pull themselves out of the pool and block that goal. And so it's a different skill set and a really different attitude.
And she seems to be doing the defensive and blocking sides, saving lots of goals for them. It seems to be that there needs to be more communication in between her offensive players and her as to get the ball into their hands a little bit sooner so that they have more opportunities to make plays.
Exactly.
Because Tina's not going to be able to score when the ball is 90 meters away from the other goal.
Tina will never be the game winner for Cuesta, but she can certainly save an awful lot of games.
She can be the game saver
with that defensive. Now the fact that Santa Barbara's only scored 6, my estimate, I haven't been tracking her saves, but my guess is she's got at least 12 saves.
Yeah.
That's a great differential. If you can get yourself above 50% on saves, then you're really doing a pretty good job. So she's actually done a pretty good job of keeping the score for Santa Barbara down and
absolutely
keeping that under control. So we'll just see if in the fourth period we can Cuesta can get any offensive unleashed and make this a little more respectable score at the end of the game.
Yeah, let's see if we can get the ball a little bit closer to the net instead of holding it so far away.
They've got some more substitutions in. They've got some different players coming in and starting this fourth period for Santa Barbara.
Like we have a substitution for the goalkeeper as well for Santa Barbara. That's going to be Zoey Johnson taking in for Jade Maniscalco, who did a fantastic job only allowing in 2 goals on the day, and both of those were exclusions.
It'll be fun to see her because Zoe's a 6-foot freshman, so she's going to be able to
bit of a different frame here.
Different frame
to Jade.
Be able to match Tina size-wise in the goal.
Absolutely.
Santa Barbara wins the sprint for the 4th time. They took the sprint all 4 periods.
Just accentuating the speed of their swimmers and how they're just, from our point of view, they just seem to be swimming a little bit faster in the pool.
Just, subtly faster. That's just that one tenth of a second, but that's all it takes.
And you can see it.
Blue Ricketts with the ball. She's free, not really being very strongly defended. Nice shot off goal.
She does have that big arm. She does like to take those outside shots. She's taken at least 4 or 5 of those. Hasn't had one connect, but hit the uprights in that the sidebar at least 3 or 4 times. Number 16, Sadie Emmett seemed to lose the ball there, lose track of it.
Yep. But nice defense. Lanny Acevedo got her hand up and deflected that and was able to keep control. Here's Santa Barbara back in the front half once again.
Finds Veronica Hideki playing in the farthest back position for
Here's Blue Ricketts.
Santa Barbara.
Blue Ricketts about at 7 meters again, but she's not that big a player. She's 5'6", but she really stands tall in the water. There we go. Great save.
Absolutely.
By Tina Bell. Taylor Brooks with a nice shot. Try to encourage Tina. Come on, let's get the ball down and get an open player. Here's a short pass.
That's going to be Blue Ricketts.
Here's
intercepting
Blue
that
back.
one. Showing her speed in the pool, separating, even with the ball.
See, they've got a 3-on-2. You can see the 3 white caps versus the 2 green caps. they've got an advantage coming down.
No one's going to stop her, it seems.
She's going to be able to come right down and do that up
Wow.
right off the top. Santa Barbara gets that.
The rebound.
And the ordinary foul, they kept it. She's got the free pass.
Blue Ricketts, even with the ball in possession, was creating distance between her and, the player behind her.
Strong little player. There she goes.
Absolutely. Shows off her physical strength despite being, only 5'6".
Another
wayward shot there from Veronica. Lost control of that one.
We've got to get the players down the pool.
And here we are back to the time-honored tradition of Cuesta wasting a bunch of time in their end of the pool.
To give modest offense to them, they do have a very, very good team that they're playing against. And
Absolutely.
It is tough. I don't want to be.
I don't think I could.
I'm not trying to minimize the skill level in Cuesta. We really do need to acknowledge the skill level of the Santa Barbara team and how strong they really are.
Absolutely. They seem to leave no space for Cuesta.
Yeah,
on the defensive end. They play right up on them.
Yeah, they're not making very many mistakes, and they're forcing Cuesta to not look very good today. And Santa Barbara's looking very good.
Here's Blue Ricketts going down the right side again after getting hooked up from Zoey Johnson.
Throws across the pool. Acevedo back into the 2-meter.
She's going to look
outside.
Back outside. Blue Ricketts open on the outside. She's going to look for a shot here. And finds the back of the net with the left hand. Strong shot. That's going to be 7-2 there. Is that the second goal for Blue Ricketts? Do you have that one?
Yes.
I believe that's the first player to get into double digits.
No, Ackert has two. I think about 5 different players from Santa Barbara have scored in today's game, that's a really good indication of how evenly skilled they are and how much
distribution and depth they have.
Absolutely.
Here's number 2, Jessica Burke-Conda for Cuesta. Enters it inside into Tori. She is overmatched. Tori
double teamed and not able to keep control of that ball.
It seems to be that way all night for her, or all morning.
Taylor Brooks with a nice breakaway.
And there's another goal on the breakaway.
Her second goal.
There's Taylor Brooks getting into double digits, or into multiple goals.
Multiple goals.
But Tori Blanchard seems to be who they're trying to run the offense for Cuesta, but she just has two girls on her the entire day.
The entire day. She will be exhausted.
Fighting.
She will be exhausted at the end of the day.
Yeah.
She's
clearly
earning her position on the team, and this is indicative of how physical.
Oh, what a steal there from number 2. That's Taylor Brooks looking for her third goal. Can she get the hat trick? Absolutely.
There we go.
Great steal and score there. Runs it in transition. I think we're going to be having some substitutions here.
Katie Pren coming in.
That's Evie Cooper making way.
Giving Evie a little bit of a break. She's been in most of the game today.
2-9 the score here from Cuesta College Aquatic Center. Enters it into Tori Blanchard.
Just over the crossbar.
Spinning back shot. Creative little shot there from Tori, showing off.
It's a nice backhand. It takes some time in
practice
to really pull that off. She was just a hair high on that, but what makes that good is that the defense typically is not ready for that.
Absolutely, that came out of nowhere.
And this game is really a game of shooting. You've got to be shooting an awful lot in order to get the goals that you need. So
yeah, and Cuesta's really just lacked shot opportunities, and the ones they haven't been necessarily great shots on target. Whereas all of Santa Barbara's shots have been high percentage, good looks on goal. Three minutes, 30 seconds left here in the final play, final period of time.
Coach Roth giving some coaching tips here during live ball play.
Coach Roth with a butterfly on him. And Santa Barbara with a player very deep. That's going to be Zoey Johnson hooking her up, but number 3, Ellie Colberdans intercepting. Back to Tina Bell, and she'll be looking to get the ball back to her Cuesta teammates here.
Coming down, Sadie Emmett with the ball here on the wing.
Here's Tori Blanchard jockeying for positioning in the middle. They're going to switch the
Across
play
the
all
other
the
wing,
way.
right back in.
And there she is, fighting two again.
She's
It's a
getting the
foul, so
ordinary.
she has it.
She's looking for that exclusion. She wants that exclusion so they get a 6-on-5 advantage. She's
And-
not getting that. She's getting the ordinary foul, which is giving her the free pass. But she's
Right.
really looking. She's looking for that
It
opportunity.
is interesting. Santa Barbara, I thought, maybe was giving exclusions way too early, as in the first period they gave away 2 or 3 just in a matter of a couple of
Right.
minutes. But since then, only had a couple, and doesn't seem like the game plan is totally panning out for them. But
Yeah.
got to give credit where credit's due to Tori. She's trying to make something happen somewhere.
Yep. Here's Lainey Acevedo from Santa Barbara, misses just to the right. Cuesta with the ball once again as we wind down to 2 minutes left in the game.
Enter the ball up a little bit sooner here. And there's going to be number 10, Tori Blanchard, from long range. Another
Almost
shot
got it.
attempt.
Missed.
I think she has twice as many shot attempts than anyone else in this game.
Yeah,
for
she really
Cuesta.
has. This is really pretty tough. Carly Billinger
Oh, what a
got the
pass from Zoey Johnson there, right over the top. Finds number 14, Hannah Wigsel.
who
for
passes
Santa
off to
Barbara.
Golden. Golden's with the ball.
Another save there for Tina. Tina might end up with 20 saves in this game.
Yeah, she could.
It's like a timeout.
Schuler calls another timeout for Cuesta. Their
Do a
second.
little bit more coaching here with 1:42 seconds left. Just because you're down 2-9 does not mean there's nothing that couldn't be learned here.
Absolutely, and
Playing a
he's
great
taking the
team.
time to, his team may be feeling a little bit down. They recognize that they're not going to win this game, but he's saying, hey, let's take an opportunity. Let's play this game. Let's practice our plays and see what we can do and get another goal, maybe 2, before this game's over.
There's always another game, obviously. You know, last year, Cuesta falling to Santa Barbara 12-6. So 2-9. At least they're playing some better defense, limiting the amount of goals, but really need to be scoring a couple more goals here. That's going to be the way that they can improve going forward the most.
Yep.
'Cause the defense is there for them. Tina's held it down on the in goal. Haven't allowed too many if they can keep them below 10. Just need to get a couple more shots on target for them. Couple more seconds here in this timeout as the ref blows the whistle. Getting action back.
He's going to push that. They've got two full minutes typically in a timeout, but he's going to push that just because try to get the whole tournament schedule back on track. We've got a game here. The game is well in hand by Santa Barbara. There's no reason to slow the pace down. So he's going to push it a little bit.
I think a forgotten role of the refs. I think people think they're just there to
They are, and
officiate the games, but there's a schedule. There's all kinds of people in from different places, come on charter buses.
Yeah, will do. But it's an important aspect of the game is in game management that in game flow that the officials can see and feel really what's going on here. Here another nice shot attempt by Ellie Cloberdance. Wind down for a minute and a half. This game's coming to an end. Santa Barbara is trying to keep control. They'll keep control of the clock. You watch them pass, take advantage on the clock on keeping the passes.
Absolutely.
There's a bad pass. Cuesta gets an opportunity here with a minute 12 to see if they can get back in and
See if there could be another goal in this game.
Try to get
Wouldn't put
that
it past
ball.
either team.
in the back of the net. They got 20 seconds. Poor Tina had to use 15 seconds of that game time.
And here's going to be a timeout on the
Schuler's
side
taking his last time out.
of Cuesta College.
We got 53 seconds, just about a minute left. If you're watching the game at this point, the Philippine national team is going to face off against Cuesta at 5:40 today to finish the first end. I think that's probably the last game of the day today. Games will continue on tomorrow in the championship format with the winners and loser brackets. We have Fullerton, Riverside, Long Beach, Citrus, San Joaquin Delta, and the American River. They complete the brackets in addition to the Santa Barbara and the Philippine national team. So we got a good collection of teams here in this tournament. Cuesta is going to have an opportunity to play a couple of those other teams tomorrow. They'll start out on that losers bracket tomorrow. I'm not sure. I haven't seen the bracket, so I'm not sure who they're going to end up playing. That may still be determined on games yet to be played here, this afternoon.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm excited to see who Santa Barbara is going to go on to play.
There's,
I'd like to see, a team. I mean, Cuesta's a good team here that started the season off, pretty strong. But I want to see a team that's going to push them into, two teams scoring in the double figures.
Absolutely, and they want to be pushed. They don't
That's
come
how
up
they
here
can
to
get
get these easy games. That it does give the players an opportunity to practice their plays and continue and work on their conditioning. But it's really in the stress of championship level play in these tight games where the real proof really comes out on the strength of the teams and their ability to pass and the strength of their teamwork.
Absolutely. Just a couple more possessions here. There's a foul there.
Yep, on that foul there. She's inside that 5 meters. She's not allowed to shoot. So she just tried to shoot, and with the shot, she loses that possession.
Right.
Here's Blue Ricketts on that right wing there for Santa Barbara.
Blue Ricketts and
she's looking for an opportunity. Tori Blanchard trying to defend two different players right now.
Yep.
Ball's back in mid-pool. We're down to the last 20 seconds. They're going to run out of their shot clock, but there's not going to be much time for Cuesta to come back at the very end.
They're looking for one more goal to make it 10. Let's see if they get it here, folks.
I think they're looking for one more chance to pass and let that shot clock just go away. There we go.
Tina Bell will.
We got 9 seconds left in this game.
One more possession. Probably just going to let it run out here as Tina brings the ball up to about halfway.
She makes that long distance
and that'll do
attempt.
It, ladies and gentlemen, for the Mid-State Invitational. Cuesta College falling to Santa Barbara City College by a score of 9-2. The Vaqueros take it. The 5-time champion Vaqueros make that. For Glenn Martin, Jason Hiraoka, and the entire Cuesta broadcasting team, so long and enjoy the rest of your guys' Friday, make that morning.
Friday. Come on out and watch the team play live. There'll be water polo at Cuesta here all day tomorrow, continuing again this afternoon.
The next game coming to you against the Philippine national team. That's going to take place at 5:40 this evening. Until then, so long and take care.
Thank you.